Scotty C for this one.
To another day, I was so afraid till you came and saved me. And the rain was pouring as the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid. Guided by your grace, you came and saved me. Lord, I could have been so daisy. Lord, I love me. Lord, I could have been blinded by your grace. Lord, I could have been so daisy. Lord, I love me. Lord, I could have been blinded by your grace. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved me. And the rain was pouring as the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid. Guided by your grace, you came and saved me.
They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way up, way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down. No, got a soul view to myself. Yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. I had to boss up. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate.
Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana keeping you connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage, smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Y'all, let me check this out. Make sure that my volume sounds right and decent, because I've been having technical difficulties with the sound, so I definitely got to check to make sure that we're all right. Let's see how we sound. Okay, we sound pretty good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we sounded pretty good. We sounded awesome. So y'all, welcome to another Burn Live show where we, like I said, we marijuana keeping y'all connected. I appreciate everybody taking the time to step up in here. Shout out to YouTube, X, and Rumble. We got Rumble up in here today, so we're doing something a little different than normal. Shout out to people that's actually watching me on YouTube. Shout out to the dispensary I went to earlier today because I went to the dispensary, had to go check them out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because the normal people I go through, they was making me mad. So therefore I went to the dispensary. So y'all know I got some bomb delicious. Can't wait to get into the show. I cannot wait. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time you're watching this. Not a lot has been going on. Stephen A. Smith has stayed into the light. WNBA has been getting his limelight, protesting all over, innocent shooting. Dalton's mayor has been seized by the police. The attorneys at schools where there's like, I don't want to say terrorist attacks, but it's attacks in schools where, busing school and stuff like that. It has actually been some crazy stuff going down. And I do mean some crazy stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this picture up just to show y'all what I mean. As this is a sign of protesters at a school. All right. This is what we mean by happening at a school, and it's really, really going down. It's not safe. And we're doing this all for another country. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but I do think that we need more understanding. I hate to say, we need somebody out here to explain this better, because a lot of people are mixing this up and getting it confused with what they believe in, and then they over here doing it, and then it's causing distress, calling people to get locked up, and it's a lot, y'all. Like, how more do we need to let them know, like, hey, this is a problem. It's really, really going down. Y'all see it just as well as I do. And hey, it's got to happen. Something's got to give. Something's got to break. Something's got to shake. But further ado, let's hear a little bit more about this.
Colleges, Columbia, NYU, and others is a disgrace. And it's really on Biden. He has the wrong signal. He's got the wrong tone. He's got the wrong words. He doesn't know who he's backing. And it's a mess. He is the worst president in the history of our country. But it all starts with Joe Biden. The signals he puts out are so bad. And I can tell you, he's no friend of Israel. That's for sure.
What do you think about the contrast in the statements from the president and the former state president?
You made a great point in that he needs to stay on the news cycle and not complain about the court cases. And that was a great point he made. Remember the Fine People drama? That was like a year or two long, and it was a hoax. He said there was fine people on both sides after he said that there was horrible people on both sides too. Joe Biden is looking at Israel, who's just defending itself. Hamas came in parachutes and slit women's throats and then raped them. If you are now in the press and you're saying these protests are just a bunch of salsa dancing and sushi eating, or a bunch of pizza eating and dancing, a Jewish kid got his eyeball gouged by a Palestinian flagpole. They are chanting death to America. They are chanting, I am Hamas. It's not a peaceful protest here. So
that's the main thing. And I stopped it here because I really want my audience and people that's watching to really understand this death to America situation is big. It's really getting out of control. It's really getting out of hand. And I think this needs to be addressed to those who don't know what's going on. Even I fully don't know what's going on, but to hear chants like that, to hear multiple people explain to us that, yeah, this is the chant that we're hearing every day or all day, it does draw some type of concern to me. Maybe not to you, but it does draw some type of concern to me. I think something needs to be done, not for as the word of punishment, not for as the word as punishment, but for as like, okay, you protesting, y'all out here disrespecting America, burning the flag. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to come out, maybe write a ticket, some misdemeanor, and if you do it again in multiple terms, yeah, then we need to start regulating and some type of punishment. But I'm not going to sit here and say we need a punishment to jump stuff off. I'm not going to go there with nobody. I'm going to keep it casual. I'm going to keep it kosher until it blows out of proportion. Now, I can admit that to me, yes, this is a tad bit already out of proportion. Like when we have we got to that point? Yes, we surpassed that point because I didn't think this was right anyway, right in the first place. Israel, Hamas. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, if you're not in a religious state of mind, you really don't know what's going on. You just don't want the killing. And I understand for people out there that claims and can certify like, yo, I don't want the killing. I'm with you. I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know the true reasoning behind this war and what this war stands for, how can we, you see what I'm saying? How can we stand up for it? You know what I'm saying? How can you verify it when them same people that you're standing up for, it's the same people who don't like America? And to me, and I'm gonna say this again, that's the key point to me, is we're fighting, and you got a lot of people standing up to those who don't like here in America, but yet again, we're fighting for them. We're advocating for them to come over here to have a better life. You see where I'm going with this? You're like, better life, come over here, but yet again, you don't like America. Yet again, you want America to stop the war. It's devastating. It's hard to think outside. It's hard to say something reasonable. Look, I'm up here right now trying to say something reasonable to you guys to make it make sense, to make it sound accessible. But hey, I can't even do that my damn self. It's just like, that's just, yeah. It's not right.
Opera GX is by far the best browser.
We also got this too, y'all. Look at this. The protest is everywhere.
Christine Johnson.
I'm Maurice Dubois, and we begin tonight with the latest out of Columbia. Live pictures here now from Chopper 2 showing the encampment still there on campus, the subject of a letter tonight from the university's president.
According to that letter, there is a midnight deadline to decide on a plan to dismantle the encampment. CBS 2's Allie Bauman live at Columbia with the details for us. Allie?
Christina, Maurice, you can see students continue to rally out here as well as behind the campus gates. And in an email to the students tonight, the university president said that if her administration cannot reach an agreement with protesters by midnight, then she will consider alternative options for clearing the encampment on campus. Pro-Palestinian demonstrations persist at Columbia University Tuesday night for a 7th consecutive day. On campus, the unsanctioned tent city continues to grow after students re-erected it, demanding their school divest financially from Israel.
They have inspired a lot of other people to take more actions, or perhaps change the actions they've been taking to draw more attention to the situation that's happening in Palestine, in Gaza.
At NYU, a barrier now surrounds Gould Plaza in front of the Stern School of Business, where Monday night the NYPD arrested more than 100 people, including students and faculty, for putting up their own encampment.
I understand.
We're protesting, don't mind protesting. Freedom of speech, don't mind freedom of speech. I'm for freedom of speech. But when you're getting locked up and you're not even part of that culture, you're not part of that religion, you just doing it just to, for clickbait, to be known, to start your little life because you're young. That's where it's like, come on, y'all. It is in schools. It's the mostly on school property where all these protesting is going. Shouldn't that kind of tell us something? Like, the average Joe person, I know there's a lot of Muslims up there in Minnesota. I've been up there myself. It's a lot of Muslims, and you don't hear them really too much protesting. You don't hear them making noises as you do in New York City, Chicago, California, Compton, and stuff like that. But it's like, is it getting out of hand? Is it not? Where do we find a what's the word I'm looking for? Where do we find a reconcile Where we reconcile this? Where do we come to an understanding? Where do we need to understand that we're here over in America and we're fighting another country's war? But yet again, we're actually talking about a country and a war for people that don't like us. And then you got your mayor. Well, this is your governor. I'm sorry. You got your governor speaking out. And let's hear what she got to say.
Understand how important this is. Young people in particular are energized by their beliefs, but we have to have respectful discourse. This has gone too far.
Mayor Adams is applauding the NYPD for its response and says students who protest peacefully are not the problem.
We can't have outside agitators come in and be destructive to our city.
At Columbia, the administration is giving most students the option of remote learning for the rest of the semester.
I think it's been an intense time to be a student on this campus.
Tuesday, former Mayor Rudy Giuliani drove by Columbia, putting in his 2 cents to condemn the demonstrators.
I feel that we have declined to a state of absurdity when we have these ignorant people who are supporting killers.
Columbia protesters say they are in ongoing talks with University President Manoush Shafiq, who is facing growing calls to resign, with dozens of students suspended indefinitely for their encampment.
I have never felt more proud to be Jewish and more in line with the values of my faith than when I was being taken out of Columbia's lawns with my hands zip-tied behind my back.
But as tensions continue to boil over.
Yet again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong for saying this, but it's almost to the point to where you guys are bringing a war over here in America. I'm not knocking your pride. I hope you're proud to be a Jew. I hope you're proud to be a Muslim. I want you to, because I'm proud to be a Christian. I'm proud to be American. You see my flag. You see my hat, USA. You see the flag of America. So you see, I don't mind you being proud. I don't mind you being patriotic for your country, like they do in the Olympics. But when you're protesting for something that's happening so far away, with you not going to go over there and fight at all. See, I think that's the key thing that people ain't out there when they're talking. They're like, are you going to go over there and fight? Are you going to go over there and ask them, please stop killing, please stop raping, please stop decapitating? No, you're not finna do none of that. You're not finna do absolutely none of that. So therefore, you cause a whole nother problem, or maybe not a problem. Y'all want me to lighten it up. You're causing disruption. Okay, you're causing taxpayer money to call the police officers to handle y'all, to watch over y'all. That's taxpayer money. But yet again, y'all don't like the government in y'all business. Yet again, you alarm the government to come see y'all just in case one of y'all get hurt. See, people don't think like that. People don't think about the hurtness and the people who prey upon the weakness. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of weak, innocent people down here protesting about this. Let's take over them. Let's go in this building. Let's duct tape this. Let's steal this. Let's do that. All this crime and other things that happen. They forget. They forget, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a pretty sight. It's not. That don't look pretty at all.
Over. Freshman Daniela Davis says she regrets staying on campus this week during Passover.
There's no one left on our floor. There's 6 of us left, which is a really weird feeling. And it's supposed to be like a more joyous time around Pesach, and we're all celebrating together, but that hasn't really been the case.
We've also learned that.
Notice that protesting gets bigger around religion holiday. Religious holidays, protest grows and gets bigger and gets, I don't want to say out of hand, because yet again we're out of hand, but a little bit more disturbing. A little bit more disturbing. How about that? Can we use that as a reference? A little bit more disturbing. We got to really find a way to come to these people, come to these guys some I don't know, a different idea, a different mindset. Like, look here, I understand, I get it, but disrupting you is scaring other people. Shoot, I bet you there's Jews protesting that's scaring Jews. There's Muslims out there scaring Muslims. Okay, so I'm gonna play this just so y'all get another perspective of what's going on, or just another way to look at things.
Party is over, dick noses. You break the rules, you get suspended. You break the law, you get arrested. You don't like it, leave. You don't like it, quit. Okay, you dumb f***s. You complain, you whine, you cry.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Make sure you get the merch link in the description section. We have all the products, at least some of them we had to take out of stock because they were sold out. We reestablished some of those products, but go on and get it now. Link will be here, and also the discount code will pop up here on the screen. TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com, and my wife's store, Freedom University. Shop Freedom University. She got some freaking what do they call it? So my wife got some aprons and making cooking great again, which is it's crazy. They're going viral on her store. So the link will be in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. All right, police storm Yale University campus with riot gear. 47 arrested as hundreds stage anti-Israel protests. You know, there comes a point in time where it goes from being a protest to a terrorist act, promoting terrorism. These people that are advocating.
See, what I feel like I was being light and I was being kind by going through this without calling it a terrorist attack or something like that, or calling y'all terrorists. Because yet again, I don't want to call my American people terrorists for your belief. I don't. Now you might sit up here and say, well, it is what it is. It's who it is. It's what's causing and what's the effect. But I really don't want to sit up here and call y'all terrorists. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm letting other people kind of give y'all perspective of what it is and what it do before, you know, it get out of hand, or before y'all like, well, Michael don't talk about the war, and I really don't. But I would talk about the protesting that's getting out of hand out here in America.
I'm going to just read the article and then you'll know what I'm talking about. It says students continue to occupy the plaza this afternoon. New York City Post, Yale students dancing and chanting at the protest. Jessica Hill from the New York Post. It says the mass arrest came after footage posted online showing cops arriving at the Ivy League school and blocking off entrances to the plaza where roughly 200 protesters have gathered. Cops repeatedly warned protesters they risk being arrested if they did not clear out. The Yale spokesperson said. It said the police descended on the campus. A group of defiant students had locked arms around a flagpole and were singing "We Shall Not Be Moved" as officers could be seen checking the dozens of tents that they had put up in the plaza, according to a video on X. While the arrests were underway, others could be heard taunting the Yale Police Department, YPD or KKK, IDF. They're all the same, is what the chant said. Arab blood is not cheap. For the martyrs, we will speak. Now, these people.
I don't even want him to go no deeper than that. He read the article, what it said. Yeah, before we sit up here and just say those people are terrorists, understand that the only part that I'm not going to speak for him. The only part that may seem like a terrorist is the illegal immigrants that come from another country that's egging on, that's speaking from experience, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And I'm really treading light of calling somebody a terrorist, because like I said, nobody wants to be called terrorist. That's frowned upon almost everywhere we're looked at. So how's we gonna sit up here and just call somebody a terrorist? I don't want to do that, and I'm gonna try my best not to until there is a true terrorist attack. And if there's no terrorist attack, we just protesting with a little bit of violence, just like Black Lives Matter. We didn't like that. You didn't like when the Proud Boys were protesting. You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody don't like a certain type of protest because it has nothing to do with you, or you may be against it. I'm against the violence that it brings. I'm against the misunderstanding people that let the other people that have a totally different agenda mess things up, or the hotheads. Okay? Them, when they come up in there, or the real people that don't like somebody and they try to do something. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's gotta somehow change just a tad bit, just a little bit. If I don't say so myself. Okay. Now, in sports, y'all, I forgot about boxing went down too, y'all. Boxing has went down too. It was a very Pacific boxing match that went down on 420. Ray Garcia boxed some other person. I'm not really into the boxing. I'm sorry. But I did find out that after the boxing, the guy that won went on a podcast to sit down and talk at Trump's Mar-a-Lago with PBD. I thought that was interesting. I did. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I am seeing a bit, 6 minutes of the interview right here. I just thought, hey, for you to win a fight that wasn't real important, but you know what I'm saying, was important because he disrespected you, whatever, and you got this interview. And you know, let's hear something. Let's hear about something, because obviously you had something to get off your chest. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. Obviously, you had something to get off your chest. You went to a podcast, and from my understanding, he called PBD and like, hey, I want to come on your platform and do this. So therefore, you know, he had something to say. He had something to get off his chest. I do like how he said, thank God he showed his religions and stuff like that. So without a further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's just hear a little bit of what's going on.
I'm sure you're going to get a lot of weird calls right now, sponsorships wanting you to do this. Hey, we want to give you a watch.
Yeah, talk
we
about.
want to give you this. We want to give you that.
Blue Moon.
Shout out Blue Moon. And Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Nobody could do it better than me. I always say I don't do Coke, but I do Coca-Cola.
So you don't do Coke?
Definitely not. Never have done it in my life.
Never have you done it in your life?
Never tried it. Never done it.
Zero. Really? By the way, this is very important.
Yeah.
This is very important.
That's very good.
You've never done cocaine in your life.
Cocaine in my life, and I would be the first one to admit it. I never did.
And just so you know, I look at him because everybody at your level needs a guy like him in your life.
Yeah,
it's very hard to find and you said his name, Sarge. Obviously, I know who you are, but you know, because that's what a lot of people accuse you of doing.
I know.
Yeah, a lot of influencers will say Ryan's on cocaine, Ryan's doing cocaine, Ryan's doing this, Ryan's doing that.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that joke. Come on, take a joke.
Just come doing white stuff all over his face.
Yeah, never.
But you have to give props for the act, yo, because Ryan.
Come on, I'm an A-class actor. See, no disrespect.
No, but because the act, going back to the acting, he was acting like you were tweeting. And I'm not gonna front.
Let me tell you,
is this dude on blow?
Let me tell you, I'm telling you right now, Ryan is not wrong. Okay, he's not wrong. And here's what I mean by it. Because, for example, okay, certain people, you know, they would say Michael when they were in the Olympics, 92, right? The Last Dance. They're like, man, dude, we'd go play, we'd practice. Michael would go 36 holes, then come back, go to the casino, get up, come back in the morning, score 35 points, and then go back 36 holes. And all the other guys, Barkley, they're like, listen, I can't do this, Michael. I go one day, I can't. He said, but Michael did this every night he went, right? Okay. Some people can do that. The difference with today's model, Ryan, is your answer right now to me changed everything for me. Changed everything for me. Because if that's the direction you're going, the strategy the next 5 years is my suggestion, you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do because ain't nobody telling you what to do. But my suggestion would be a page out of the playbook of Connor, a drink, something that's got equity. And I know you take shots at Prime. Let me tell you what was Prime's top line revenue last year? Type in Prime top line revenue 2023.
Just let me cook. I'm gonna just.
Do you know what the number is?
No, but
It's
we're gonna lower it.
2.6 billion.
We're gonna lower it.
You're gonna lower it? Okay, let's see it.
All you have to do is keep on bashing them every fight.
You think so?
I'm not gonna leave it all. I'm not. My
Really?
finger will be. I swear, I'm gonna be on their neck this whole time.
Okay, so let's see what you're gonna do.
Prime tastes like shit.
Check this
They
out.
got a class lawsuit action over their company. They pay horrible chemicals. Do not drink it.
I'm not gonna front. I do not like it at all.
Let's read.
I drank it one
Energy
time.
drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, before they get deep off into this part, I have been talking to some of my friends and stuff when it comes to small business owners and is out there. If you're owning a business, congratulations for one, you know what I'm saying, to you. But not only should you be a business owner, but I really think that if you're a business owner and if you have a time to invest, because everybody's networking. And I'm not knocking networking, because that's the name of the game, is to network. But I think the real name of the game is profit work. And what I mean by profit work is, I got this started, but if I know if I can invest into you a little bit, if I can trickle over there, you know what I'm saying? Little income coming from multiple places, y'all. It's better than income coming from one place. And I'm going to keep saying it to a lot of my friends until they catch on. I got a friend that runs a candy store. He wants his own restaurant. He wants his own truck. And I'm like, yes, cool. That's the road. But you know what I'm saying? You before you step into them big roads, if you had a partner or a friend or anybody came around like, hey man, I got a vending machine popping already, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get these 2 extra machines real quick. Could you help me out? Can you dig in? That's what I mean by getting that extra little income to come in, because you're doing these 3 things already. Here comes a little side, just a little extra little hustle. You know what I'm saying? It may not be something that you was looking at. It may not even be a lane that you thought about getting in. And I think that's where we hesitate as young entrepreneurs not growing our network, is because we too afraid to venture off into things that we don't have too much knowledge of, but you got a good friend over there booming. Now, I'm not going to say, I feel like I have to say this for those people that got the friends that aren't doing as well, and you know who you are, you know who those friends are. I am going to say no. Then we're not working with them. We're not rocking with them. It's not a good thing to do. Okay, I wouldn't expect you to actually build with a person that ain't trying to build for themselves. Okay. So let's see where this goes. I just want people to get that understanding when they're talking about business and growing something, and even going after somebody that's net to destroy just to build up your brand.
I'm a mean guy, dude. I don't care.
Co-founded by KSI, on track to hit over 1.2 billion in sales in 2023.
Nice.
Okay, go a little lower if you can go a little lower. So according to KSI and Logan Paul, it's soaring to new heights. By the way, if you go to equity, if I'm not mistaken, type in what percentage of Prime KSI and Logan Paul own. I think it's 20% each, if I'm not mistaken. If you can pull it up, there you go. 20% each. Okay. So Prime Brand is owned by Arizona Subject Grant, a product development firm run by Max Clemens, who they own 50% of the brand, but Logan and KSI own 20%. But obviously everything Logan's doing with wrestling, UFC.
And that's it right there. You see what I'm saying? That's where you get your business, and you get a percentage of somebody else's business because you're helping them grow. Now, yes, they might boom when you tag off, but understandable, you getting your 20%, so you're always going to see a percentage. I seen a rapper was like somebody used one of his songs, one of his little mix, and he says, yeah, every time they do that, you know what I'm saying, he gets royalty. He sees like 200, I think he said like 27,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. That's income, y'all. 27,000 a month off of just somebody using something of yours just a little bit. Now you see 27. Now, of course, they might be saying 100,000, 200,000. But it doesn't matter. You still getting your cut. You know what I'm saying? You was getting zero, now you're getting something. Now you can add that on to your project over here and what you was doing with your 3 projects or whatever you had going, and you can build off of that. And I want people to understand that's the way we're gonna build, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in America, and I'm gonna say it like this, a lot of people in America are gonna say that there's nobody to do those small little jobs, and then I believe the small little jobs is going to be spread it out a little bit differently. And what I mean by spread it out a little bit differently is just for the simple fact that when it's spread it out, it's going to be spread out to the young workers inside your community, whatever business that you're growing. You're always going to be able to go into your community and pick out people to come do the little jobs, the messy jobs, the hard jobs to earn a buck. I believe these jobs that so-called they want to give to foreigners, other people, that's why they open the border. I believe that part is a myth. People want to explain, well, who's going to do the job? Okay, I got a little nephew that can't find a job. I got a little niece that can't find, you always going to find somebody that can't find a job. So therefore, help them, especially as American. And if I'm lying, I'm lying. I'm flying. But I just want people to see the making money part of it also and hear this story at the same time, though.
I own 20%, but obviously everything Logan's doing with wrestling, UFC, you see Prime everywhere, right? Okay, 1.2 billion, Tom, 1.2 billion dollar top line revenue on a drink. What is the EBITDA on a 1.2 million, $2 billion drink? Can we put 20%? 20%?
What, 240 million?
Let's say 15%. 15% on 1.2 is still a $180 million EBITDA. $180 million EBITDA times 20x, that's a $3.6 billion company. 20% to Logan Paul, $720 million to each that's going to be paid out. Wow. I'm just doing some spitball on numbers here. I may be off on the numbers, but I don't think I'm off by a lot with the numbers I just did.
Great.
So if
Who cares about money, bro? These dudes are fucking whack.
No, but you want to make money.
No, but these dudes are whack.
So
bro.
what's your problem with Logan and KSI? What's your issue with those guys?
They're man. They don't stand for nothing, bro. They're puppets and nothing in the day. I don't like people like that.
You think Logan and KSI or Jake Paul?
No, Jake is the homie. Jake is a truth speaker. I like guys that tell the truth amongst the money, anything. Right. I make a lot of money, but I don't care. Boom. Cancel me. You can't cancel me for telling the truth. These dudes are culture vultures. These dudes are whack. These dudes are just...
Be specific. Why do you say
they're soft, man. They will never... Like, I've been talking about sex trafficking, and they always want to bash me on it, but that's a real problem in the whole world. That's not even a debate, and they never say anything about it. To me, that screams coward, bro. Why would... It's not going to hurt your brand to speak for the kids, and then you want to bash the man that is speaking for the kids. These dudes are cowards.
I want to touch on that kid trafficking problem. When you're doing, I may be wrong, but it is starting to show that these big high brands, I'm talking about these big brands, these big boy brands. Come on, y'all. These places where you normally go shop at, your Starbucks. Yes. Your Targets, your Walmarts. Where else you go shopping at? Yes, I'm talking about all big brand people, companies. I have a funny feeling that yo, they might be under some type of kid trafficking farm. And I'm not gonna sit up here and just, oh man, I know you did it. I know you did it. I know you did it. I'm not saying that. I'm just under the influence because there's so many people out here that done did the numbers, done calculated, and sex trafficking is with a T, $1 trillion industry. That's nasty. That's disgusting. And we sitting up here as regular Joes having podcasts, having a voice to speak out. And like, how are we going to speak out? How are you going to stop them? Because trying to stop them, they're going to ruin you. They're going to lock. A simple person like me, I am an average Joe. I am against sex trafficking. I wish I could stop them. I would advocate it. I always would speak loudly, but I do understand those high people, once they get a hold of me, once this company start growing and people really start listening and Burn Live become a entity, a voice, yeah, bruh, I'm finna get locked up ASAP Rocky. We don't want, come on, man. In my so-called brown skin community, we done had so many nasty cases been come out, truth, and we was celebrating these people and wouldn't tell the truth. But now that everybody's on this truth or this new generation, which you got to give applause to the new generation right here. And I'm not talking about generational kids. I'm talking about this generation right here that is speaking out the truth, that is dropping dimes and don't care about how you feel. They just want justice. So yes, there's a lot of big corporations that should be going down, but understand there's big lawyers. It's going to take states. Okay? That's how many people will have to stand up together to take down a big corporation. There has been a lot of different rants out there, I think, that has been said and smartly tamed. Understand that there are laws and bills and rules slowing us down, but there are ways that we, the people that pay their state taxes, that pay federal taxes, can stand up for what we believe in and do what we want to do to shut this down. There is a way we can do it, but it's going to take a fight amongst the fight. It's going to take the weak to stand up to show the strong that we are strong enough. It's going to take the strong to hold the weak and say, yes, we can do it together. Everybody want to do the love part. And I'll be like, okay, cool. And I'm not knocking people that be like, we need to do the love. But I'll be like, the solutions, the problems that actually occur, that you can see, that you can hold, that you can touch, that you can feel, that's out there breathing and in the news that people are speaking up on. We need a voice. I have always wanted to be that voice, speak upon it. But yet again, there's going to be always something that I say that somebody's going to like and everybody's going to leave. It happens to me so many times. And more that I hearing all these big companies and people doing it well, I'm like, well, hell, I was saying that so long ago. I was speaking like that to a lot of people. And today, right now, I go out every day and look for people that don't like to vote. Just try to speak until, hey, man, I hope you can vote. Bring them to the show and we talk about voting and stuff like that. I just want to be an American pothead that believes in America and stand for what's right over here and fix over here. And sex and kid trafficking is on my top 5 list.
These dudes are demons in the flesh. Like, these dudes are just, they're going headed nowhere. That money ain't gonna go nowhere but the grave, brother.
How different is Jake? Because you seem to have a good relationship with Jake, and Jake said good things about you, because Jake said this was a very emotional fight. He said, because I'm friends with both, but he gave you a lot of credit on the fight that you had, and you could tell he was sincerely emotional. He says he was crying.
Nice.
What's your relationship with Jake?
I like Jake. I mean, I've been friends with Jake before Logan, way before. And me and Jake's been friends since we were kids at the end of the day. And we even almost fought Zayn Malik one time. That was fun in Vegas. We both did. But other than that, yeah, he's just a guy that he's authentic. He's genuine. He may scream problem child, but he's also intelligent. And I like people that try to move with integrity and just with the unhinged attitude, because people that try to act all, straight and dandy, we know what you're doing behind the scenes. You're just not real with it, but that's okay. You want to try to protect your image. That's fine. Not mad at that, but don't come bashing people for something that you do behind the scenes, brother. We know you do, you know what I mean? So don't try to judge somebody when you're doing it. Hey, I'm Ryan Garcia, and I have joined Connect. You can connect with me there. I'll be talking to you personally through messages, FaceTime, and a lot of other things. So we can talk business, boxing, whatever you would like to ask me. So go connect with me at Connect.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the...
They calling them out. Everybody's getting called out. Boxing used to be called out just, just so you can get the number one fight. Now, people getting called out because you may believe a certain way or you into certain things that you don't like. Understandable. I never thought boxing can get this deep, but I think it's cool. I think it's a new way of looking at the sports. I'm about it. I am definitely about it. I want to play this clip. I just want to find the right clip real quick. And I thought I was going to play that one. But I'm going to play this one because I think this is more into what's going on and stuff like this. So you have Stephen A. Smith who leads ESPN and does what he do and do what he does. And I'm human. I have nothing wrong with Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I think a lot of us are starting to really understand that if you're part of a business, you have to speak a certain way to keep your job. Obviously, I guarantee most of y'all know somebody in the game that did something. I don't care what it is, from acting to sports to gaming to, I don't know, to whatever you can possibly think of. Somebody got canceled somehow, somewhere, said they did this, did that. It's really kind of hard to duck social media getting blamed for saying the wrong thing. I had one of the best debates maybe 2 or 3 days ago over a post that I put on Facebook. And people were in their feelings, and I was enjoying the conversation, the dialogue back and forth. That's why I was like, y'all can call, or you can even come on to the show and let me know, like, how am I wrong for thinking that Trump is one of the best presidents of all time? So I'm just like, yeah, come with it. Tell me how he's racist, because back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when crime was high and rated and black people was majority doing the crimes, just statistically known. I'm just saying, not calling you a sellout or nothing. I'm just, hey, it was around the ghettos, you know what I'm saying? In the ghettos, most black people are scared. A lot of people are extra strapped up, and people wonder why we one of the heaviest artillery armed countries in the world. Because we don't want to lock up criminals that do crime. So what the hell? Now, to lighten the situation, you got Stephen A. Smith that seems like he can't get himself in and out of trouble because he's starting to speak out for those blacks. I had to say it. For those black that think a little different. Stephen A. Smith is speaking for those who think a little different. He still got his ways of how he's going to do things. He's still going to vote for Joe. He has admitted. I don't know if he's lying. I really don't matter. I like that he speaks his mind about how things look. And then you got critics and people like this that just look at this man. Just look at this man. He's disgusted because Stephen A. Smith said something on the Hannity show. Stephen A. Smith has went on a PBD podcast. Stephen A. Smith has said things on his personal podcast that maybe you disagree with from another black man. It's amazing to me in my black community that we're all supposed to think alike, like we got some damn magnet, like we telepathy. Like we're mutants. We're X-Men. And we all got this, like, come on, man. Like, when have you not ever met somebody that thought different? Have you ever? And it's shocking. Even I was a shocking to people out here once upon a time for saying, hey, I think different. When it comes to a case, let's hear the whole thing out before we just say, oh, the police just were shooting at innocent people. I understand it does happen. We're not saying it doesn't. But cases that get glorified normally gets glorified for no apparent reason. But let's see this disgusted man's face.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm so sick and tired of seeing people I genuinely like and support come out and say some ish like this. For those of you who don't know who this is Stephen A. Smith. If you haven't seen his shows, I'm sure you've seen the memes. I love Stephen A. I watch or listen to his shows on a daily basis. I have been watching him since I was maybe 17. But recently, Stephen A. Smith went on Fox News to talk with Sean Hannity about Trump's hush money trial. And what he says, the only thing I can compare it to is when Stephen A. few years back, probably going on like maybe 8 years ago or so, the NBA, I think they debuted hoodies or something like that. And so players on the benches.
If he not going into a long story about absolutely what? See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I want y'all to listen to his story and how it makes sense to what Stephen A. Smith said. Come on, man, make it make sense.
Wearing hoodies, and Stephen A. was like, why they got the players wearing hoodies? They all look like Trayvon Martin out there. It wasn't his brightest moment, that's for sure. He got a lot of blowback, as he rightfully should have, but y'all gotta listen to this.
But I gotta tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago, talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth.
All right, guys, so we got another Stephen A. sent video. Yes, I know, another Stephen A. sent video, but I got to tell you guys, for as much as I really do not respect Stephen A., and especially after this saga, one of the reasons why I'm following his story and his political evolution is because it really is.
It's amazing that we had to sit up here and be discriminated. Why you got to be discriminated on to actually have an opinion, and it's got to be different? How many of y'all want to go to the moon? And how many of y'all don't want to go to the moon? So everybody that wants to go to the moon, you're different than those who don't want to go to the moon. So therefore, those people... So basically, y'all two don't like each other, and if y'all two cross each other on social media, y'all will be literally doing what? Fighting. Oh, I don't like you. You want to go to the moon. I don't like you because you want to stay on Earth. You see how different. Okay, cool. You want to go to the moon. Cool. I don't. It should be that simple. It really should. Especially by voicing your opinion about things that matter in the political era. And when you do that, then you should like try to get somewhere. But when it's politically talking, everybody gets upset, get mad, get real mad. And he was gonna go into that, but I don't want y'all to hear his rant. I'm sorry. I would just y'all want to hear the rant that so-called got him in trouble, or him apologizing for going through this so-called rants that he go through. And I don't know. Should you apologize for your rants? Because you was ranting, or you was telling the truth, or you was telling a situation of seeing how I see it. Like, this is how I seen the situation, you know what I'm saying? And you hurt somebody's feelings, because I guess Stephen A. Smith hurt somebody's feelings. This is supposed to be him apologizing, which is crazy. But I think this is just like what he said about it. But Stephen A. Smith started apologizing, y'all. This is crazy. But this is what he so-called said.
Ago, talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, the court system, and everything else being exercised against him, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen.
So you will ask her, and that, like, black people are now like, we don't relate to him. We don't go through depression. We're not looked at as criminals. So when you see a police shoot, you don't flinch up and think that he's gonna pull you over and lock you up because you're black. It amazes me now. We not looked at as that. We looked at it as doctors and lawyers and successful people that's doing it big out here in America. Well, that sounds very good, and I appreciate you doing that, but that's not what you were speaking about and saying earlier when it comes if you come doing, man, look, people are texting me. I'm sorry, y'all. When y'all know, when y'all thinking different, you're thinking different. But y'all give me a second. I might have a special guest. I'm not sure. I am not sure. It'd be awesome. But basically, that's what I'm getting out of this. And I'm sorry if I started something I messed up, but people did start texting me and stuff like that. So let's go. Oh, how black folks can relate to Trump. And some black people say they do. So like I said, George Floyd, Jesse Jackson, Michael Jackson was flooded by the police and paparazzis and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The over-incarceration of black people in jail. O.J. Simpson running down a highway, getting chased by a whole bunch of police. These are black people who seen the police and the law just get at them. So my question would be like, what's the difference?
Seen that happen throughout society. So no matter what race, what ethnicity you may emanate from, we relate to you when you're suffering like that because we know we have. And that's what he articulated.
And you mentioned, obviously, Max is going to get in here. Like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, you know, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to check you right now. You don't cross the
I'm
line.
just saying.
He said, you done crossed the line.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so there's no doubt in my mind that that moment scarred Stephen A. Smith for life, okay? Because ever since then,
yeah, this stuff is funny to me. I can't wait till the election just to see what happens. But this stuff is funny to me that we cannot really speak out on what's going on, or how we feel about things without getting scrutinized and or backwashed, or however you want to look at it. It's always some crazy thing about how we look at life, how we see the president, how we see the gas prices, how we see the grocery stores, how we see the minimum wage. It's always something different. But when it's different, we're supposed to embrace the difference, to understand that these are our neighbors and that we are different. That's all. Other than that, y'all, check this out. Let me load it up for y'all real quick. Oh, snap. I forgot playoff basketball is going on. It's going on. Are y'all even in the sports that be watching mine? Or y'all just be in there chilling?
Iconic sample flips in songs by Outkast.
I like watching these little things very quick, just to change the mood a little bit fast.
Hold your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you like fish and grits and
boy, that used to be the jam. Let me stop it right there, because you know copyright. They're gonna be like, all right, you was playing. I was like, man, hold on, bro. I was
So
just
you might
listening.
remember this lawn.
I was listening. Hold on.
Earlier in the season, it's the same property that I was taking care of for a week or two while the customer was out of town. He ended up getting injured on his trip, so therefore he was stuck with me. And this is the same yard that I did some crazy patterns, as you can see. Started with the rainbow cut, then went on to the wave, followed by the crop circles. A funny story about that, and this is the first time this has ever happened to me. So after I laid down all those patterns, I came to mow the following week, and the wife came outside saying that she loves the lawn and loves the creativity, but everyone in the neighborhood kept stopping and taking pictures of her lawn. And she said even a couple people came up and knocked on the door asking her about it. So she wasn't really comfortable with all the attention that she received from these wild patterns. So she went ahead and kindly asked me to do straight lines only. She figured she wouldn't get as much attention this way. She referred to the straight lines as more conservative. So an accommodating guy like myself, I went ahead and listened and did straight lines only. All right, so you might remember this lawn.
Shit. What's crazy is he didn't get that boy no business. He ain't shoot him no business. That's crazy. Hey, y'all, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
if you feel it, 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 if you feel it.
And we are back. Hit that like, subscribe button if you're enjoying. enjoying what you see, enjoying the conversations. I do try to have guests coming over, a couple of my friends around the way, talk about things that are really actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Changing up the mood of marijuana, at least speaking, keeping you connected. I do like talking about weed. I do look up weed news too, which that reminds me, that's about a good idea. See if we got any local news that's been popping out. Yeah. We got one,
Break up.
ladies and gentlemen. We got one. A lot of times I don't get a chance to look up all my stories that I get to podcast, which oh man, y'all got to see me just looking for everything, huh?
Tomorrow's 420. It's an unofficial holiday for marijuana enthusiasts. It dates back to the 1970s, but it's also the first 420 where adult use recreational cannabis is legal in Minnesota, joining 23 other states. And while it is legal now to carry up to 2 ounces of smokable cannabis and keep up to 2 pounds at home, retail stores exist in only 2 tribal communities hours from the Twin Cities. As John Croman reports, state lawmakers are now busy tweaking the rules of the game for those who want to join the cannabis industry next year when it gets up and running.
We will have more robust enforcement in the near term and have a more stable marketplace in the long term.
Coon Rapids Democrat Zach Stevenson carries the bill to tweak the legal recreational cannabis law he pushed to the finish line last session, starting with the idea of giving wannabe businesses a faster start, with applications starting August 15th and pre-approval licenses granted October 1st.
We establish a pre-approval process that as early as this summer will allow for people to know that they're going to eventually get a license, which will allow those people to take the steps necessary to line up capital, secure real estate, do all of those things, knowing that they will have a license down the road.
But that pre-approval process that is in the bill currently does not allow for any actual operations to take place. It merely goes, hey, you will get a license one day. Congratulations.
That's Blaine Republican Nolan West, one of the handful on his side of the aisle who voted for legalizing the drug. Now he's calling for cultivators to get licensed as soon as possible to meet the demand coming in 2025.
What we need in order to have a safe and regulated market is cultivation to start as soon as possible, because you cannot have a retail store unless you have product to sell. As it stands right now, I would be surprised if we have a functioning market in 2026 if we maintain what we have right now.
I think having multiple sets of rules, the current medical rules, these temporary rules, the official rules, will sow confusion and will distract the office away from getting the actual rules out the door as quickly as possible.
Republicans also proposed a ban on flavored THC edibles.
If your goal is to legitimately curb usage, then curb actual candy flavored THC products.
This amendment goes on, you're gonna have a situation where you can't have flavors in edibles, but can have them in smoked and inhaled products, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
These products are designed to...
It is fin to go down. These arguments out here in Minnesota are a little bit deeper than what you expect, deeper than what I expected. It is a little bit deeper than what I expected, but understandable when you got to the kids. Other states be looking at other states and seeing their results and what goes on and understand what type of neighborhoods you got, what type of problems you feel like you're going to run into. A lot of people didn't understand like the weed trafficking, the people opening up illegal shops all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of foreigners. I think yesterday, day before yesterday, or last week. Matter of fact, last week, I covered a thing where they was a bunch of Chinese people had a foreigner cannabis thing going open and they had it illegal. So you do understand where it's coming from, where people do have their own set of things that they consider as problems and they want to make sure that their problems are well taken care of.
attract children, and they cause incredible harm. The flavors are things that are attractive to kids.
Bill last year did not legalize cannabis for kids. It is not
lawful for children to possess marijuana. It is the same as it is for alcohol.
The bill passed the House without that flavor ban being added to it, and now the action switches over to the Senate. There are going to be a lot more twists and turns to this story before the bill reaches the governor's desk. For KARE 11 News, I'm John Croman.
Opry GX is the best.
That's crazy. They still going through all that stuff. Like, y'all still trying to go through legalization through it. It's 420, man. Come on, man. But yet again, you hear about so many different cases. How long is I just thought about that. You hear about so many cases.
Marijuana rules is the big story today.
Yeah, that's right. Process of developing the rules to sell recreational marijuana.
Sales could begin early this summer, earlier than initially expected. 13 Action News reporter Josh Krupp is live to explain where everything stands right now. Josh.
And Tina, Tony, after voters legalized recreational marijuana last year, this process was really set into motion to develop the rules for sellers. A new division was created and given 9 months to figure out how this thing will all work. On that.
Hi. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Say something. I wonder, can she hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Is this me you're looking for? Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We're having technical difficulties. Hello? Hello? I mean, we heard her. I don't know what happened. Told y'all we might have a special guest, but they're having technical difficulties at the moment. We always have some type of technical difficulties. We always. That's crazy. Well, until they work itself out. Ladies and gentlemen, get back to the story.
Timeline. The licensing process wouldn't be finished until August. But a state rulemaking committee is set to meet next month to potentially allow recreational sales to begin at facilities that already have medicinal licenses. Those places could then get dual licenses. Other rules will still need to be hashed out here. Marijuana advocates say that other states that took several months or even years to launch sales after legalizing pot saw issues with illegal markets.
I think Ohio regulators have learned from some of the examples we've seen in other jurisdictions where this process has been unduly delayed, and they are taking steps to expedite this process.
Now, Tina, Tony, there's still gridlock in the state legislature about marijuana legislation. The Senate did pass a series of changes to the law last year. But the House hasn't taken up that proposal, with members there arguing it goes against the will of the voters. Lawmakers are still expected to debate aspects of the law, including how tax money is allocated, how to keep kids safe, and advertising rules. Tina.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. So you mentioned the fact that the people that will be getting those recreational licenses first are those facilities that already sell medicinal marijuana. So let's take a look at where these dispensaries stand. This is a map from the Ohio Department of Commerce, and it tracks all of the medical marijuana dispensaries across the entire state of Ohio. You see some pockets that are more populous have more dispensaries than others. That includes the Cleveland area, the Columbus area, and Cincinnati. Well, let's zoom in to Northwest Ohio, and we can take a look at some of the counties in our area and who has those dispensaries already. There's a dispensary in Defiance. There are 3 in Lucas County, 2 in Wood County, 1 right near the Van Wert-Putnam County line, and 1 in Sandusky County, 1 or 2 in Seneca, and a few out in Erie County as well. So these are the areas that will have that first crack at receiving a recreational license. I checked in with a few of them today, one saying they didn't want to discuss anything yet and hesitated to make any comments about any potential movement on a recreational license.
Let's break down exactly what the marijuana license looks like. Issue 2, broken down each license into 4 different components. There's a level 1 and a level 2. They're adult use cultivator licenses, meaning you can either grow, distribute to cannabis operators or acquire seeds, clone plants, but you have to pick just one. Whereas in a level 3 adult use cultivator license, that allows you and licensees to engage in all of those activities. And then there's the adult use processor license. It means you can purchase weed from licensed operators and then process it into marijuana edibles and products to distribute. Finally, there's also the adult use dispensary license, which allows you to open a dispensary.
We saw this even with the medical program where we had, literally thousands of people applying for these limited licenses. We might see that again.
The Division of Cannabis Control plans to give out 50 level 3 cultivator licenses and 40 dispensary licenses to start. They will then review this after 2 years to decide whether they should issue more.
With the legalization of marijuana last November, schools in Ohio have been quick to meet the budding workforce demand. And for students wanting to get a certification in cannabis management, the University of Toledo offers an online undergrad and graduate certificate program that will give students a holistic understanding of the marijuana plant, the properties, and the business market. We have a link to more information on that program on 13abc.com.
If you're just now joining us and you'd like to see the big story again, you can download our 13 Action News app. It's available as a free download in your phone's app.
Yeah, y'all that want to get in this marijuana industry, I might have to go move to one of these states. It seems like certain states, all states have different laws and different ways of getting licenses. Some may be easier than others. But at this time and how things are going, everything should be wonderful. And your states are how you smoke weed, it shouldn't be no problem. It really shouldn't. But I do understand that some of y'all got expensive taxes. Las Vegas, expensive taxes. Boy, we talk about expensive. I love
Money.com has definitely changed and
You
improved the
might
way
not.
we work.
But I love these stories.
Having a place in the
Now to a new push to crack down on those illegal pot shops that seem to be popping up like weeds across the city.
Fox 5's Richard Giacobis has more on the new plan that'll give the NYPD more teeth when it comes to shutting down the shops operating outside the law.
Outside this smoke shop on the Upper West Side, the colorful candy signage in the window promoting a variety of tobacco flavors seems to be geared towards kids.
You got to follow the law. Like I said, next thing you know, they're going to be selling it to kids.
And that's one of the many reasons why Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams say it's time to crack down on the scourge of illegal smoke shops across the 5 boroughs and officially smoke them out.
By padlocking illicit shops, we can finally put an end to the chaos that has permeated these neighborhoods.
On this eve of 420, both the governor and the mayor announced that the new budget includes a deal that would allow local police officers to padlock hundreds of stores across the city that sell illegal cannabis. Both lawmakers smiled when they symbolically held up a padlock today to make the announcement, one that they both feel will finally ease quality of life complaints.
When you have an all-cash business, it attracts those who committed robberies,
We've had a number of shootings inside our cannabis shops.
New Yorkers who live near illegal smoke shops say it's a long time coming. They don't necessarily mind the shops, but they just want the owners to follow the law.
So many bad things have been happening since they've been in the neighborhood. A lot of robberies are up.
It's dangerous. We license it, therefore enforce the licensing.
So in addition to padlocking the doors of illegal smoke shops, cops can also have the authority to go in and investigate an alleged illegal smoke shop. They can also fine the shop owner up to $10,000 a day, even the landlord up to $50,000 a day. According to the governor, enforcement goes into effect immediately. We're on the Upper West Side. Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dave.
I was chewing on a piece of candy. Y'all seen me. That mug was delicious. Understandable, y'all. If you have an illegal marijuana dispensary and you're making money and you get caught by the police, they're not going to lock you up. You're not going to face no time because there's no punishment for that. So I do like the fact that padlocking, shutting them down, actually seizing the whole entire business, and then find a way to regulate who gets the bid and who takes over. At least the stuff is there, because the stuff there 9 times out of 10 is not regulated under dispensary, federal law, state law, whatever it takes to put the weed out there, most likely. But if it's going to bring down the crime, if it's going to make it safe, I'm for it. I'm about safety. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to sit up here and sugarcoat no safety laws. Hey, that's what we need. If it was really causing a big problem like that, then yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. And it sounded reasonable. You know, you hear people, and I seen same faces of people like, hey, yeah, man, it's bad, man. It's kind of bad, bro. So that's what's up. It can only get better, y'all. Things that y'all may think is worse can only get better. I'm gonna do one more. Thank you. Bless me. I want to make it. It don't have to be a good one, but it can be, a little on point. Yeah.
Where to go?
I like this one because this is from Arkansas. So therefore, it does have its difference.
Bro, one of these days I'm step
and prove that no more than 30% of their audience is children. This comes as Northwest Arkansas has seen more billboard advertising for Missouri dispensaries, which the state can't regulate. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer talked with some local dispensaries who say this is unfair to their business.
I, as an Arkansas dispensary, can advertise with a billboard, fine. But why would you let someone from Missouri do it?
If you've driven north on I-49, you might be familiar with this billboard.
We want to get the word out. There are a lot of people in Arkansas.
It's for the Missouri.
A lawsuit has been filed by an Arkansas dispensary against the state challenging the advertising restrictions for medical marijuana. Right now, the law says that dispensaries can't advertise in any form unless they can prove that no more than 30% of their audience is children. This comes as Northwest Arkansas has seen more billboard advertising for Missouri dispensaries, which the state can't regulate. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer talked with some local dispensaries who say this is unfair to their business.
I, as an Arkansas dispensary, can advertise with a billboard, fine. But why would you let someone from Missouri do it?
There is very little advertising that we are even allowed to do. It just gets in really dicey water there.
If you've driven north on I-49, you might be familiar with this billboard.
We want to get the word out. There are a lot of people in Arkansas.
It's for the Missouri dispensary on the state line, just a mile from the Arkansas border.
Arkansas has not been very restrictive at all.
Laws in Arkansas make it difficult for Arkansas dispensaries to advertise in the state. But for those Missouri dispensaries, it's a different story. And Arkansas dispensaries say this could encourage people to travel across the state line to buy.
We do not have control of those dispensaries in Missouri.
Scott Harden with the Arkansas Medical Marijuana Commission says a dispensary called Good Day Farm has now filed a lawsuit against the state, saying Arkansas is too restrictive on their advertising laws.
Let's say a dispensary wanted to run a billboard. That dispensary would have to prove to the state that children are not seeing that consistently and that children don't comprise a significant portion of that audience.
No more than 30% of an audience for an Arkansas dispensary advertisement can be children. And to prove that for a billboard, he says,
that would be almost impossible.
We do have to be creative, but we could never, for example, take out a billboard.
Mandy Strickland, CEO of The Source, says they have to be very careful how they advertise.
Seems kind of detrimental to our own culture and environment that we're building here in Arkansas.
Missouri is recreational, while Arkansas is medical, but she argues those billboards on a busy highway could be intriguing.
I don't want for our Arkansas cannabis businesses to suffer because of our laws. Meanwhile, the Missouri cannabis industry is just booming. That advertising confuses people. It makes them not know that we exist.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
And the hearing for that lawsuit is set for May.
Hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get money for the rent. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do I feel bad? Nah, man. Yet again, people gotta realize that we out here and we're celebrating cannabis. We're growing the company. We're finding innovative ways to attract the eyes to the business to want to come look at our locations. But in the meanwhile, we're attracting the kids at the same time, and we're not thinking about the kids trying to find an adult to find a weed, which that's been going on for years, you know what I'm saying? But to do it in a legal situation got, you know what I'm saying, officers now thinking about it. That's the difference, and that's why we're going through what we're going through. I was sure this for y'all.
The boards while they were all.
This has got to be.
This escape room is the most insane place I've seen so far, and I can only imagine the adrenaline that they felt running through the boards while they were all slowly falling behind them. The way she just left her friend to die there and kept running was even better. This escape room is the most insane place I've seen so far, and I can only imagine the adrenaline that they felt running through the boards while they were all slowly.
Hey, the part that he pointed it out, and she did look back. She didn't look back.
The way she just left her.
She didn't look back to right there. When it was all over, I was safe and sound. I wouldn't say left your friend. You seen that stuff fall. It's time to get up out of her. People, I wouldn't say leave your friend. No, I was doing what we both should have been doing in the first place. Okay. I didn't leave her. She failed. That's not leaving. What I'm supposed to do, reach my hand down there, even though they keep going? No, I got to get to the end. And then, are you okay? You know you got to ask that. Are you okay? You all right? Are you alive down there? Are you alive? Oh shit. I'm just gonna play like this, so maybe I don't get the copyright thing because Just look in the middle, y'all. Caitlin Clark doing her, I guess, announcing her team. Look, I'm just curious.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever. Going into the draft, you know.
I'm just gonna say already, y'all. We are going to be covering Caitlin Clark because of the simple fact, all the drama with the woke and the political stuff. Yes, I know it's weird. So we're gonna be covering the WNBA. It's intriguing to cover the sport that I secretly been watching low key because don't nobody else care about. So why talk about something that don't nobody else care about? But now that people are caring, this girl has electrified the United States of America. It was more intriguing to watch the college female basketball than the WNBA. It was better than the men's college basketball. That's how electrifying it was. So just to get deeper into this,
Draft, you know, we've pointed players from when they were juniors, sophomores, and just kind of watched them along the way. Lynn Dunn does amazing. She is detailed. She is organized. She's always asking us, you know, different questions about them.
Evaluating Caitlin Clark has been a really interesting experience for me because I had the opportunity to evaluate and draft Sue Bird, who I considered probably the greatest point guard that's played in the WNBA.
ooh, I can't go too far. I think they're gonna hit me with a copywriting thing if I go too far. So I'm not gonna get into that and go too far. But I do want to hear this liberal losing their
Chris, you
mind.
know what we just
I do want to see this. When it comes to liberals and these news stories about what's going on when it's getting closer and closer to election is amazing.
Chris, yeah, you know what we just watched, right? Anger does not even begin to describe it. These people were irate as hundreds packed the gallery, waiting to hear what the House was going to vote on. And as soon as they did, absolutely erupted. Take a listen. These protesters, they're screaming at the top of their lungs things like murderers, vote them out, and blood on your hands. From those I've been talking with out here, what I'm gathering is they just don't feel heard. They want to change following the Covenant school shooting, and this, the Arming Teachers Bill, that is what they got. They feel the answer here is common sense gun laws, not adding more guns in the classroom. Now, we watched earlier as troopers cleared that gallery following the vote, which seemed to only add fuel to this fire out here.
I heard about this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, check this out, y'all. Before I get back into that. It takes 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the situation, the case, for the police officers to come, get suited and booted, ready to go in there and save your kids. Right? When you can go through the classes, go through certified classes, just like police officers do, or however they feel in Arkansas. I think all 50 states need to follow this. And there need to be guns with the teachers. For those teachers who feel safe with the guns, who okay, I can use it. I'm willing to protect all these kids. I'm willing to put my life on the line just in case somebody come up in here with a thumper. Let it be registered. Let the principal or the superintendent come around and check every hour on the hour if he got to. Where's your gun? Where's your pistol? And where's it at, sir? Just interrupt the class and just check to make sure that it's safe. I think whatever it takes to make sure that the students are safe. Understandable, the kids are going to be scared because, oh man, the teacher down there got a gun. What if he kills me? Quit thinking. You need to be learning anyway. Now they're going to be like, the reason why they couldn't learn because the teacher down there. Come on, man. You wasn't learning in the first place. I'm not going to sit up here and knock teachers who want to protect kids from being harmed. And what is the fastest way to protect kids? You're not gonna let the students carry their own pistols because you're gonna be like, no, it was the student that was shooting up the school. So therefore, I don't know. You at a 50-50. You like just no guns. Okay, a person want to shoot up a school is not going to care there was no guns on campus. I think, and it's not statistically shown, but I think it is. I don't know, but it should be that you would think a shooter going to a school is going to school to shoot up a school, not only because he's mad at because of what the school did to him and whatever. It's because there is no guns up there and you can hit a lot of different bodies. Unprotected environments get hit up the most because people understand they're unprotected. If you have more protected areas, meaning people carrying guns legally, ain't nobody finna shoot up nobody because everybody's carrying the guns legally. I understand, yet again, people are going to be scared and thinking that, hey, that's still not right. And I don't think this is what we should be doing. But yeah, I think in my eyes, I believe that's what you should be doing. No offense.
The group also chanted 6 lives lost, not one more, all laying down inside of the Capitol just moments ago to remember the lives lost at the Covenant School. I do want to point out, too, Representative Justin Jones, he came out here a little bit ago, addressed this group, and commended them for showing up. And he said he was disappointed as well, but promised to continue fighting for common sense gun laws here at the Capitol. Now, another protest is set to happen right outside here in about 30 minutes. We'll be live with the latest coming up at 5. For now.
The world we're living in today is drastically different than it was even a few years ago. Now,
has inspired passionate debate, tense protest, and national headlines. And this afternoon, it is headed to Governor Lee's desk. Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Sharp. Now, just a short time ago, the Tennessee House took a final vote on the bill that would allow teachers to carry a gun inside a school. We have team coverage. Let's start with Chris Davis. Chris, you were there when this contentious vote went down.
I like how she I like how she framed it. That allowed teachers to carry a gun inside a school. Okay, you just think they're just going, you know what? Let me carry this gun. Got to protect these badass kids that don't want to learn nothing anyway. No. Come on, man. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Down.
Carrie, I was in the gallery just steps away from those that were eventually ejected. As soon as the vote went up to the board, the gallery erupted in chants, saying things like blood on your hands and vote them out. I should note that as it passed, there were 4 Republicans that voted against this measure. I want to tell you who they are. Representative Charlie Baum of Murfreesboro, Representative John Gillespie of Memphis, Representative Kevin Raper of Cleveland, and Representative Sam Whitson of Franklin. They all recorded no votes, but there's still enough Republicans in the chamber to eventually pass this, largely along party lines, except for those votes. I want to let you hear the sponsor of this bill talk about why he supports it and why he thinks there are safeguards against teachers abusing this system.
This bill seeks to make the bar so high, but to allow the locals to have the ability to do that it would create a deterrent across our state. This is not new, though, in the nation. There are 32 other states that have similar laws, both red and blue and purple, all across the United States.
Now, keep in mind, teachers would not be required to carry a gun into the classroom. It is a voluntary program. There are also qualifications teachers would have to meet. A teacher would...
Voluntary program. There are qualifications that they have to meet. Understandable. Just not all of you scary little mother kitten cats. Dogs chasing your tail is finna come up here. No. If y'all can just sit up there and have a rally, hey, these people I think should sit up here and carry guns. I trust. I trust him. I trust him. I know somebody all of y'all trust. Like, okay. But in the same token, I feel like, and notice I said I feel like, because this is my feeling, this is my opinion. I feel like all of y'all should know who fills out an application. And if like a certain amount or a big amount of y'all feel uncomfortable with that certain teacher carrying a gun, then I think that should disqualify. Damn, I can't talk right now. High as hell. But I'm not gonna blame it on the weed. But that should disqualify him too. You know what I'm saying? But it's a safety. I know it sucks. I know it's wrong. I know it doesn't sound fair, but at a school and you got what, let's say 24 teachers and you got a good 15 of them that's like, you know what, I don't think Mr. Jones should be getting what's calling. He's a little extra aggressive and he's a little rah. Hey, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry, you can't carry a pistol. You know, you can't fill out the application. You've been voted unsafety of the semester. Try again. You know what I'm saying? Work on your behavior. You know what I'm saying? Pass some third class saying that you got help and you're not a very angry person because you may seem angry. You know, stuff like that. I'm for stuff like that. If a group of teachers just feel like that one certain person is not capable of doing a job of carrying a pistol every day to school, hey, don't fill out that application. Hey, hey, sir. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But I do understand teachers holding guns, feeling the safety is where it's at.
Have to get permission from their principal, director of schools, and their local sheriff or police chief. A teacher would also need to already have a handgun carry permit, receive 40 hours of additional training, and pass a psychological examination. Even with those safeguards, Democrats called this bill reckless.
We're going to throw more guns at the situation. That is not going to solve the problem. It's going to create more death. And I'm not fine with that. And when you push one of these buttons today, you think about that too.
Two other big developments on the story. Number one, we have already heard from Metro Nashville Public Schools. They say they will not be participating in this voluntary program, that they believe that the police are the best ones served to be armed in Tennessee classrooms and schools, which is of course allowed in this program. It is opt-in at the district level and at the individual teacher level. Also, directly after some of those protests, Representative Justin Jones of Nashville, who has been outspoken in all of this, he recorded some of the protests up in the gallery. That is technically against House rules. He also chanted along with.
Okay. So make a department where you have cops sitting 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours. We're doing school hours at these schools. 2 or 3 cops sitting, patrolling, staying at these schools. Sitting, patrolling, staying at these schools. Cop. Hey, we pay taxes. They can do it. For real. Get somebody who I don't know. Don't let me get in discuss nothing. Don't let me say nothing. Don't. Y'all don't want me to go there. So, and the only reason I stopped it right there because you got all them cops in the back. If y'all secure and be like, okay, either teachers or the cops, well, okay, let's get a division. It's what, 100 and probably what, a good, no, because you got, it's going to be a lot of cops working at schools. Because you got the elementary schools, you got the kindergartens, you know, you got the preschools, you got the elementary, high school, middle school, colleges. Gonna be a lot of cops out here working in schools.
Them, so he was officially called out of order 3 times. Now, under House rules, that means he will not be able to speak for the rest of today and tomorrow as well. That was voted on by the body, and they levied those punishments against him. Of course, a huge part of this story involves the protesters, demonstrators, and stakeholders that were up in the gallery that made their voices heard during these proceedings.
Yeah, well, they've been.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Go check out Black Republic Perspective. Man, be coming with some hot stories and some good stories, very highly influential stories. And I think they're very on point of where he be trying to go. Y'all, I don't really know what else to talk about. Hold on. Something has crossed my path.
Cox Mobile's spring savings event is.
Hey, y'all, I'm finna get into this just like y'all. I don't know what this is, but every time they normally hit up something, it's normally about. I don't know. I've been finding good stories through them. So let's hear this. I'm super curious what's going on.
I'm Symphony Thompson. We're just weeks away from the release of Not Another Church Movie, a new parody film spoofing the church genre and more specifically Tyler Perry movies. However, the film's tagline reminds you of that and strictly says this is not a Tyler Perry movie. Now, that might be clear to the public pretty soon, as sources have reported that Tyler Perry's team reached out to the producers of the film. The project is using the same parody style as the Scary Movie series, making fun of an entire genre of movies. The plot revolves around a man named Taylor Harry, and that's spelled with a P, but the P is silent, who is called upon by God to become a writer and inspire his community by telling family stories. But of course, the devil finds a way to intervene himself. From the trailer, it's clear that writer and director Johnny Mack used Tyler Perry as source material for parody and satire, with references towards his most famous characters, Medea, Joe, Mr. Brown, and Cora, as well as multiple nods to some of his most notable movies like Daddy's Little Girl, Medea Goes to Jail, and so much more. Vivica A. Fox, Tisha Campbell, Jasmine Guy, Kyla Pratt, Lamorne Morris, and Kevin Daniels all star in the project, with Mickey Rourke playing the devil and Jamie Foxx as God. Now, the movie is filled with familiar faces poking fun at the Hollywood mogul and is relentless in its attempt. Tyler Perry has a history of contacting those who dare to make fun of him and his work. If you remember back in 2022, Donald Glover would portray a character named Kirkwood Chocolate, which drew several parallels to Tyler Perry in an episode of Atlanta. According to a GQ interview, Glover warned Perry about the episode that was coming, saying, "I told him I was gonna do it." He would elaborate, "I don't know how he took it. I texted him once, I think, for something. I didn't hear back." That's the thing about being Black. It becomes so personal so fast. I'm not ishing on you. I hope Tyler understands. I still want to shoot at his studio someday. Like stated before, Perry being upset at being spoofed isn't nothing new. In 2010, the Boondocks aired an episode titled Pause, where Granddad gets cast in a play by Winston Jerome, who looks a lot like Mr. Perry. In the episode, it's discovered that Jerome's play auditions act as a recruiting technique for his compound. Of course, Perry was reportedly upset over how he was portrayed and allegedly contacted Turner Broadcasting Company to reevaluate his relationship with the company. The Boondocks aired on Adult Swim, which is under Turner. At the time, Perry had 2 different shows produced by the company, House of Pain and Meet the Browns. Producer of the Boondocks, Carl Jones, would even confirm this information in an exclusive interview with Comedy Hype. Now, when it comes to Not Another Church Movie, Jamie Foxx is listed as one of the film's top actors. While Foxx and Perry haven't collaborated on a project yet, Foxx himself is no stranger to poking fun at the Hollywood mogul. In 2012, Foxx would host Saturday Night Live and appeared in a sketch that would act as a fake movie trailer for Tyler Perry's Alex Cross 2, Medea Special Ops. The sketch featured Foxx pulling double duty as both Alex Cross and Medea at the same time, splitting the 2 characters right down the middle. We all know Foxx excels at impressions, and his Medea impression was no different. Now, there's no word on whether Perry contacted Fox about this SNL parody like he did with the Boondocks in Atlanta, but history shows that he does not appreciate being made fun of. Perry's team's latest outreach to the producers of Not Another Church Movie is just another example of this. Joining me is our very own Danielle Miller to discuss this, but first,
Tyler Perry, a man that's going to go down as a legend in the game, did it real big. Nobody can stop this man, a very educated man, a very successful guy, a very intriguing man. Dude, you can make stories and histories and stuff like that. Can't take a couple of jokes. I guarantee he would have took them jokes if they would have paid for them. That's what I'm kind of feeling like the situation, looking at. Like, it ain't just because the jokes are the jokes are the jokes. It's because of the simple fact that he couldn't get paid off of those jokes. That's what I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, man. I was gonna see about trying to go deeper off into it, but her just breaking down what's happened was good enough for me, because no, I'm not really into a story like this. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I'm really not. But you know what I'm saying? Normally when they do pop up on my newsfeed, there's always something hot and good and entertaining. And to understand that these people made a whole real live movie. Hey, that movie looked at I don't know if I'm gonna say it looked good. It looked a low budget for them to even be attempting this. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. That's why I was like, all them actors is up in here.
but the P is
When I seen all of that, when I was looking at this, I was like, man, this look low budget, and you got all these good star actors. Oh, they really just poking at the low budget aspect of it. They probably didn't even spend no money for this movie, for real. Come on, man, Tyler Perry, come on, man. Just a little sense of humor. Just a little sense of humor. Just a little sense of humor. Ah, man. Yeah, that's funny. Now, I think that is funny. I really do. I think that's funny that people can't take a joke like that. You know? You know what, y'all? I really don't have too many other stories. I really don't. Until next time, to be honest with y'all, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm never always trying to hold y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all some good entertainment on me. Till next time, I'm out.